law and order president, despite the fact that he's a felon, has commuted the 7-year prison sentence of former private equity CEO David Gentile. He was a CEO and co-founder of GBP Capital Holdings, was convicted of wire and security fraud charges brought by the Justice Department during the Biden administration. The president commuted the 7-year sentence days after he actually reported to prison. He was sentenced in May to 7 years in prison on wire and security fraud charges. He began a sentence on November 14th and was released on November 26th, says Bureau of Prison spokesperson Donald Murphy, White House pardon czar. You know, remember when conservatives say they don't like czars, at least back during, whenever a Democrat is president, but whenever there's a Republican president, they never do anything and complain about Trump having a czar. But when Biden had czars and other Democrats had czars, they shit bricks. And that's because U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, which brought the indictment, said at the time the charges related to a years-long scheme to defraud 10,000 investors by misrepresenting the source of funds used to make monthly distribution payments in the amount of the revenue generated by the 3 of the investment funds. He was charged and convicted alongside Jeffrey Schneider, the owner of a marketing firm. The White House official disputed the charges brought by the Biden DOJ. The official said GBP paid regular annualized distributions to its investors, and in 2015, the company disclosed to investors the possibility of using investor capital to place some of these distributions rather than funding them with current operations. Even though this was disclosed to investors, the Biden Department of Justice claimed it was a Ponzi scheme. This claim was profoundly undercut by the fact that GBP had explicitly told investors what would happen at trial. The government was unable to tie any supposedly fraudulent actions to Mr. Gentile, blah, blah, blah. This is according to the Trump administration. Gentile's attorney did not immediately respond to comment. Letitia James had also sued Gentile and co-defendants over the scheme. The lawsuit is still pending. A source familiar with James' case told ABC News that the Attorney General's office is aware of Trump's commutation, and the source says it doesn't change the merits of the civil case against Gentile. So again, somebody found guilty of basically doing a Ponzi scheme has now been freed by Donald Trump because, he's all about law and order, right, folks?